pressure is not on the final performance. That's just a byproduct. I always tell the kids, I don't want you to feel pressurized that you have to perform.
It's intensive, an hour and a half long, and you're going through 7 days. How do you manage to keep it fun and at the same time instructional? Uh, I wouldn't be able to do it.
I think I've been teaching kids for years, but I have to admit it started with my niece because I started taking care of her. My sister used to go to work, and I started teaching a couple of things. And I used to also we used to do make dance videos together.
Welcome to This Week at the NCPA. And the NCPA Summer Fiesta 2025 is going on from one high to the other. Musical theatre, dancing on stage. Now, this starts on the 9th of June at the Little Theatre, and it goes on till the 15th of June. It's 1:30 to 3 in the afternoon, a wonderful workshop for children. So if your parents have children aged between 9 and 14, or if you're between the ages of 9 and 14 and you're listening to this broadcast, you can go immediately and register. You must register on Book My Show or at the venue, which is the National Centre of the Performing Arts. Amey Mehta from Sunny Side Up Productions, the founder, is taking this exciting week-long workshop, and Amey joins me. Hi, buddy. How are you? Good to see you.
I'm good, Rishi. How are you?
Excellent. Couldn't be better. Listen, let's start by talking about the obvious thing, which is your love for kids. It's not easy when you're trying to teach kids dance styles, musical theater, timing and rhythm and coordination. You have to have a genuine love and affection for the young ones. So, is that something that you've cultivated for years? And how's that been going?
I think I've been teaching kids for years, but I have to admit it started with my niece because I started taking care of her. My sister used to go to work, and I started teaching a couple of things. And I used to also we used to do make dance videos together. Uh, so slowly, I think it's almost been a decade that I've been working with kids now. That is my safe zone. I think with them, I completely get lost. I go on this amazing journey with them. Uh, I mean, it's absolutely wonderful.
That is so sweet. That's really wonderful. Now, listen, this is not easy. It's intensive, an hour and a half long, and you're going through 7 days. How do you manage to keep it fun and at the same time instructional? Uh, I wouldn't be able to do it. Tell us about how you manage.
So what I do is when I get the kids on the first day, I try to create a safety net, a space where they can be themselves. There is no judgment. Every choice they make is the right choice. There is nothing like a wrong answer in the workshop. And I think
Yes.
once you create this safety space, the kids just blossom. Uh, they give their best. Yeah.
So, I mean, let's talk about what the children are actually going to learn. For all those parents out there who are listening to this or watching this and who are thinking of sending their kids to this workshop, if you could just break down the instruction manual for them.
Yeah. So as you know, on the last day, which is the 15th, there is a presentation for the parents. What happens is in the acting on stage workshop, we divide that into two parts. One is where we give them tools to write a monologue, and then we also kind of nudge them and push them to perform it themselves, to also direct it themselves, to understand how they should position themselves on stage, how they should modulate their voice, how they should become a character on costume, makeup. So that becomes a part of the performance. The second half is where we divide them in groups and we give them an idea of a script and they develop that into a group piece. So one is an individual aspect and the other one is a group dynamic just to see how they work in a group team because they only directed themselves. And everything is decided by them what the costumes, what the lines, who's playing what character. If there are two kids who decide to play the same character or want to do the same character, I tell them you have to find a solution between you all. You all decide who's going to play what character. If there are two actors who want to play the same character, you find a solution. So I actually treat them like performers, not actually like kids. And that kind of gives them a sense of responsibility. Yeah. So that's one workshop. The other one is musical theater. My background is also in musical theater. And I'm also a trained professional dancer. So in that class, the focus is you take dance as a base, and you teach the kids how to convert them that into performance, how to pick a character. And also what we do is we work with a lot of singing. How do you sing live? You maintain that stamina, you still connect with the audience, you still don't break that character, and you still make sure that last person who's sitting there can still hear what you're saying.
That's lovely. Just to cue you in, all of you who are watching or listening, actor, choreographer, artist Amey Mehta was a part of the Terence Lewis Contemporary Dance Company for half a decade. He teaches theatre to the IB students at the Cathedral and John Connon School and is a faculty at the Drama School, Mumbai. He works as a director for Connections India in association with the NCPA and the National Theatre United Kingdom, along with owning his own theatre company, which is called Sunny Side Up Productions. Now, I'm just going to deep dive into what he just talked about, which is his second workshop. Now, this other workshop is again 9th to the 15th of June at the Little Theatre, and it's in the first half of the day, 11:30 in the morning till 1 in the afternoon. So we're talking again, age limit 9 to 14 years. If you're between 9 and 14 listening to this, get your parents to enroll you. And if you're a parent and you have a child between 9 and 14, this is the time to do it. Last few spots going out, 7 days, 1.5 hour each. So, you know, this is obviously an engaging theatre workshop where these young kids will come and get to do a lot of exercises with you. I'm just curious to know, is improv part of it? Is improvisation part of your theatre workshop, your acting on stage workshop? And you mentioned singing. I wonder if you actually go through scripts with them, because I think at a very early age, if these kids are exposed to script and script analysis, they could really be the theater professionals of tomorrow.
Absolutely. So, Rishi, what I do is before even I dive in, first half of my class is where I do a lot of improv exercises. I do a lot of theater games. I kind of open their mind to the possibilities. I also work on, I use animal as a reference to create characters. And I tell them, okay, now you're a 50% monkey and a 50% human. Now how do you do it? So I use all these ideas and kind of push them in that direction, and once their mind opens, then they kind of start creating work. And yes, scripting is a very important part of it, because but what I do is I let them be the judge of what is a good script and what is working and what is not working. Also, when they're performing in the workshop before the parents come, I make the other kids sit and watch, and they have to share constructive feedback. So it's a very give and take workshop where they all feel involved all the time.
That's wonderful. You did mention in the dancing on stage workshop, which is the other workshop that you're doing in the second half of the day, you're doing a lot of group exercises that they get to work as a team, which is so important for them, teamwork. I wonder whether you delve into monologue writing and performance, because that is such an important discipline as far as theatre is concerned. I mean, I've gone and watched Anupam Kher, Ashish Vidyarthi, all these brilliant actors do monologues where they're playing multiple characters, or just one single character, but they are alone on stage. Is that a part of the acting on stage bit?
It is a very important part of it, because I tell them you are alone on stage, and how do you create this energy where the audience feels like you are this larger than life personality, right? How do you kind of create that energy? So I work with a lot of that, because sometimes what happens, because these kids are young, they are shy, they kind of hold back. And these days, a lot of them are used to performing in front of a phone. So energy is very limited. But when you come in a space, an auditorium, you need to explode. So I work with this, which I call internal, external, where how do you keep your energy internal? And then how do you find ways to keep it external and push it beyond to the audience?
So public speaking, presentation, stage terminology, all of that in the dancing on stage, in the acting on stage, and dancing on stage will teach you timing, rhythm, coordination, musical theater, all of that. My last question has got to be about parents and your association with the NCPA. So there's a part A and there's a part B. Part A is, how do parents react to seeing their children build more confidence, teamwork, and come out totally transformed after 7 days of these workshops with you. Share that with us. And also, because the show is called This Week at the NCPA, your own association of the National Center of Performing Arts, and if you could talk about plays you've done there, performances you've done there, other workshops you've done there, memorable moments that you've spent at the facility, it'll be a nice way to sign off.
Yeah. So it's amazing to see how parents react to the kids, because a lot of these kids are, they are not very confident initially when they come into the workshop. But my brief to them is, firstly, half the battle is won, the fact that you've signed for the workshop, right? So half of the job is done. Now all you need to do is go on stage. Even if you go on stage and just stand, I'm absolutely okay with that. So I don't put the pressure is not on the final performance. That's just a byproduct. I always tell the kids, I don't want you to feel pressurized that you have to perform. And I think in that process, because they don't feel the pressure, they suddenly just open up and they start performing. So we've had parents who've been very overwhelmed, and they're like, we did not expect this from this workshop at all. So the response has been extremely overwhelming and extremely positive. Coming to NCPA, my association with them goes from, like, I've been working there and I've been performing there for years. I've performed my first play there, which was called Ela by Patchworks Ensemble. And I've also performed Under the Gypsy Moon there. I've performed Special Born. I've performed The Gentleman's Club. I've also performed my own play, which I directed, called One Night Only, which was produced by Equivaris Productions. And I absolutely love that space. It's almost like an extended family. Bruce, Benifo, all of them are absolutely lovely. It's like a home away from home.
Amey, if people were to reach you or Sunny Side Up, your production house, you want to give out any Insta handle or any way to contact you?
Yes, so they could reach me at the Sunny Side Up Productions on Instagram. And I'm very quick and very fast, so I'll reply to the DMs as soon as I can.
Lovely. The NCPA Summer Fiesta 2025. What an experience. It's been running for 3 months now, April, May, and we're into the third month, June, and we'll continue right up till July. You just heard Amey Mehta speaking about his 2 workshops, acting on stage and dancing on stage, 9th of June till the 14th of June, 1.5 hours in the morning and then 1.5 hours in the afternoon. You can still reserve a slot. It's a workshop for children aged 9 to 14. Get on to Book My Show, get to the venue and make your booking for the workshop. Thanks very much for your time. I really appreciate it, and see you soon, my friend. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Hrishi. Bye-bye. Take care.
94.3 Radio 1.